Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you're here today.
We're also really excited that Julie and Colin have joined us today. Hey, guys.
Hi, everyone.
How you doing, everybody?
And you here joining us today, whether you are watching this live or as a replay, we welcome you. We're excited to have you here. This is a call that we offer to all Young Living brand partners from anywhere in the world. You want to learn how to work smarter, grow with ease, and the way that you want to, you're in the right place. With Get Oiling, you have everything that you need outside of the virtual office to run your Young Living business, to support your adjacent businesses that you may run. If you are a practitioner, you offer courses and other things. And with Get Oiling, you can have it all under one roof on your terms with a private member area for your customers. And today we're going to be talking about how you can use Get Oiling to manage and promote your events. So we've got a lot to get into here today. Before we get started, head over into the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from. We're thrilled to have you here today. If you've used us for events, maybe leave a comment. Let us know what kind of events you have hosted. Have they been virtual? Have they been in person? How do you like to use our events features? Let us know. And before we get into today's training, Greg has been busy with some updates. We got a couple of quick cool things that Greg is going to share with us. So if you are someone who is building pages on your site, or you are interested in maybe managing how people are in touch with you, you're going to like these. Go ahead, Greg. I think you're muted if you're talking.
I am talking. Thank you. Just trying to anyway. Um, okay, yeah, so a couple cool little updates, kind of unrelated to each other, just a couple things that have come up lately. First one is in the page builder. This has been it's a nice little addition, I think, that will help putting together sections like this better. So when you have a situation where there's a background image and maybe you want the text to stand out a little bit more. This one happens to have a little background behind it, but that's cool. I mean, you can always click on that and modify it. But the change today is with the background. So if I click on the little pencil, or I can just click on the background here, normally that's closed, but there's a new little slider under background image called background brightness. So previously you had to go in and maybe edit the image, go into Canva or Photoshop or whatever tool you use to try to make it brighter and darker. Well, here now it's really super simple. You just slide it darker. Colin requested to make a noise, but let's get that part. You can slide it brighter and darker. So, even it basically goes from pure white to pure black, but obviously you probably want somewhere in the middle. But this can really help with the readability if you want the image back there, but you don't want it to be quite so in your face, because a lot of images are super colorful, and this mutes them or makes them brighter depending on what you're wanting to do. So this little brightness slider is pretty awesome. There's a little reset link if you want it. It does also work, you could probably just set the background color instead. It does technically work on sections that don't have an image, so you can do that here too, but really all that is, I mean, it's not going to make white any whiter in this case. So it works best with images, but you can use it on other things too if you want to. So that's one of the cool little changes we got here. The other one is now there is a way, actually, let me go over here. Now there is a way to block, well, not specifically contacts. You can block email addresses, domains, and phone numbers from contacting you through your site. So under contact settings, there's a new little area down here for blocked emails, domains, and phones. And so the situation that's been coming up, it seems like it just always increases over time, right? Spam, people signing up. Most of the time, or a lot of times we've been working recently on improving the spam filter so that fewer of these junk things, these junk registrations get through to you. But there are some times when it's like a real person on the other side and they're very persistent and they keep registering and you delete a contact or they keep texting you or whatever. Well, now there's a way that you can do that under contact settings, and then that blocked emails. You can come here, you can add emails here, spammer@badguy.com, whatever you want to. Or so that'll block a specific email address from registering on like a landing page or any place really that, or booking something on one of your calendar links. There's a couple of examples, so that kind of shuts that down. They can't get in. If they use that email address, it will look to them like it succeeded, so it won't give some error message. So they think it went through, but it didn't. It just goes into a black hole somewhere. So anybody on here, you won't ever hear from them, see them, and you can actually, if you have a contact with us, you can actually go ahead and delete the contact. You don't have to keep the contact in there. This list is separate from the contact manager, which is pretty awesome. Now domains goes a step further. It does the same thing. It still blocks emails, but it blocks the whole domain. Sometimes, so like on our end, we have, I think, the domain example.com blocked because there's some spammers that like to use example.com. So we have that blocked like at a system level. But here, if you get persistent people on a specific domain, you can just add that whole domain, example.com, and then there you go. You've got your domain blocked. Any email address on that domain can't register. Obviously, you don't want to do something like Gmail, because that would block out however, 50% of the email addresses out there. But you can put whatever domain you want there. And then the phone numbers, that does the same thing. It prevents it from registering on forms. But it goes one step further. If you have two-way texting enabled, then any incoming text from them will just be discarded. It just goes into a black hole. You don't know what happened. It's just, yeah, there's really no record of it essentially once you put a phone number in the block phone numbers area. You can still text to them if you want to. It doesn't prevent you from texting out, but they won't be able to contact you. So either they sign up with that phone number on the form or text you through your two-way texting number or try to call you for that matter. It'll just throw it into the black hole and nobody will see it again. So anyway, a couple cool updates. I know this block list has been on the wish list for a long time and happy to have this out now. So anyway, back to you, Ashley.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Greg. We've seen some love for these features in the comments. Keep it coming, guys. We're going to pop out a video and get into today's training, which is again about using events to grow young living, and of course, using GetOiling to get it done. So we're going to talk about events here from a big picture perspective, and we're also going to see how you can use the features in GetOiling to set up, manage, promote, and even follow up from the events that you host. Now, today we are talking about the type of events that you invite people to. Right now, we have done trainings in the past, and we'll certainly do more trainings in the future on things like vendor events, which the entire public may show up to, but isn't something that you necessarily invite people to. So I do want to make sure that we're clear about that here at the start. These are events that you host, that people come to hear from you and to participate in some type of experience with you, whether that be virtual or in person. All right, so let's talk about this. Today, we are going to talk about how to choose event topics that attract the right people. We'll talk about how to plan, promote, and host your in-person or virtual gatherings using GetOiling. We'll talk about how you can share young living naturally and meaningfully within your event. This is a very important caveat that we need to pay attention to. I'll talk about more of that in a bit. I'll also talk about what it looks like to automate follow-up that turns your guests into loyal customers. And as always, live help and Q&A. So if you have questions, go ahead and add those to the Q&A here. We've got a lot of folks on the call here today. The chat can get very busy. I don't want to miss any questions that you have for us. So if you put those into the Q&A, we won't miss it. And if you have questions and you would like to ask them on a live call like this, join us. GetOiling.com/weekly work session. This is open to anyone. You don't have to be a GetOiling user to take advantage of what we train on here today. If you aren't using us yet, you'll still get value from what you learned here. Highly recommend that if you have team members that are growing young living, invite them to be a part of this community. Again, they can be in our Facebook group. They can join these calls, even if they aren't using GetOiling yet. So share this link with your team, with your friends, with your upline, and let's grow together better using GetOiling. Now, if you would like help on a call like this one, you can go to getoiling.com/website review. Anything that you want to work on together, we can get hands-on in your system. We can talk strategy. We can talk design. We can modify and edit things together. This is, again, totally free for you. Take advantage of this. We do this in the second half of our calls when someone registers for it. And if you would like to just hand off your project, that's also a fantastic option. We've got incredibly talented folks doing great work behind the scenes. GetOiling.com/concierge is where you can go to learn more about our team's work and get a quote for your project. All right, so let's talk about events. Events are absolutely indispensable. It is the foundational thing that grew this company from the beginning, right? Is these in-person experiences. If you can think back to the early days when barely anyone knew what an essential oil was, if you are old enough to know when that was, right? Events are sort of the origin for it. point. It's where people experience not just the product itself, but the social proof of the people around them that see that, oh my gosh, this works. Other people are doing this. I can do this too, right? So live events are one of the fastest ways to build trust and connection. And people remember how you made them feel when they experience something, right? And that obviously is going to be great if it's hands on, but this works virtually too. We now live in a world where essential oils, the term, is enough of a household name that people have a general idea of what these things are, whether they just know that they smell good or they know that they've got more incredible properties than just smelling good, right? Events also give you an opportunity to give your message staying power because people associate with what you have to say with a moment in their memory and not just a post that they scrolled past and may have spent some small amount of time engaging with, right? People will remember what they experienced, how they felt, more than anything that you ever put onto a social media post. And this is going to give you a lot more staying power in their minds, which is what you want. Staying top of mind, building that trust allows people to know that you're the person to seek out when it comes to maybe solving problems that they need help with. And certainly it's going to increase their openness to you when you inevitably ask them, hey, would you like to come check this stuff out? Right. So events at the end of the day should start with who you know. It should start with your audience. You want to think about who these people are and what they want to learn or experience right now. Right. So it's really important that we think about what we do, not from a I need you to learn what I'm doing from the ground up perspective, AKA Essential Oils 101 might have worked 15 years ago. 10 years ago. That is not what we need to be doing right now. We need to be thinking about how we can meet the moment that other people are experiencing and show them how the products that we have access to can make a meaningful difference to them. So consider seasonal approaches here or talk about specific problems or goals, not about the products themselves, not even necessarily about the concepts that create the products, like what essential oils are. Now, if you are an aromatherapist and that is your career, this is a different conversation. But I think for the majority of us here, who you are, what you're about is something that's not fundamentally oils. It's something that gets oiled. So we need to be thinking about the things we oil, right? So we want to make our event about the people we want to serve, right? About what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what's important to them right now, and not about products. If we can insert products contextually into a way that makes sense to them, we can lock them into product for life. But what if we just basically do a presentation, a pitch about our product that's not memorable? It is in fact something that people try to avoid because people don't like being sold to in a talking at sense, but they love being sold to when we're talking with, right? When we're meeting them where they are. So when you meet that need or you spark curiosity, your people are going to be more likely to show up, stay engaged, and yes, of course, to buy. So we want to think about our topics and how we'll put them out there strategically, right? So you want to start with some kind of a shared goal or challenge your audience already relates to. Head into the chat and just think for a moment. Let me know what you think your audience, the people who have your name in their mind, the people who, if you say, I'm going to show up and talk about this, they will say, ooh, tell me more, right? So, what would that look like? A shared goal challenge that your audience already relates to. So, right now, we are in the end of October. We're about to really kick into high gear, the holiday season here in the US for sure. Elsewhere in the world, I think that's also the case, right? So, think about, maybe for instance, if here in the US we celebrate Thanksgiving at the end of November, maybe folks are thinking about that, right? Maybe you're thinking about, depending on your perspective, it's addressing dietary challenges related to the holiday and holiday foods, right? If you are somebody who talks about that, who that is important too. Maybe this is something that's more crafting oriented, or it's planning your purchasing or your making for the holidays, right? Whatever that looks like. I'm seeing over here in the chat hormones, immune system, relaxation, sleep, stress during the holidays, diet, weight loss, mold exposure, ooh, hormone imbalances, wellness goals for the upcoming season. Love it. I also would highly recommend, again, because we are really in the final quarter of the year, you could actually start thinking about what you'll be doing in January as well, or at the end of December when people are starting to really think about their New Year's resolutions, which ultimately do connect to things like weight loss and health. Specifically, people start thinking about these things. And then what we want to do is think about how we can present Young Living in context to show how the products fit into the bigger picture, the goal, the challenge, right? So we need to know what they want, and that needs to be what the event is about. And in the event itself, we share Young Living in context, right? So we connect products to the experience or to the outcome. And if you're teaching, we're going to frame Young Living as a path to the result. So if we're teaching about the concept of hormone imbalances, right? Then you're very likely speaking to a very specific audience, and they probably have shared issues, shared woes, shared goals, right? And so you can then present after you educate them on the concept. And I know I am kind of speaking to an MD right now who does this, but you're speaking to the concept that the person needs to learn if you're doing this from a teaching perspective. And then you are basically framing this product use path as a way for them to achieve the goal or the outcome that they're looking for, right? Now, once we have decided what we are going to make the event about and how we will strategically position product at the event, we want to start planning for it, right? So what we're going to do is in GetOiling, we're going to use our Write with AI feature to brainstorm our event topics. So if you are unclear on what you could talk about or how you might be able to present a topic in such a way that it could be effective and attractive to the people you want to reach, you can use Write with AI to do this. So topics, titles, descriptions, and then we'll create our event in the events manager, and we'll use that to generate our RSVP and confirmation system automatically, right? So we'll have a place, a link that we can send people to. We can share this via email. We can post it on social. This is something that gives you a great deal more control than using the RSVP features on Facebook or even platforms like Eventbrite. Because if you want to be able to really capture your contacts and own the way you communicate with them, you have to take them off of these platforms, right? Because these platforms want you to stay on their platform. If you're visiting their website, they want you to stay there. And what we want is to be able to take people into our own space so that they become our contact that we can reach out to whenever we want to, and we'll be guaranteed to reach them. We're also going to use a follow-up plan. And what we can do here with follow-up plans for events is to actually give ourselves to-dos that we can use to track our prep tasks, like booking a space or ordering supplies, preparing materials, etc. All right, so let's go and take a look at that first before we get into promoting our event, which of course we'll also do with GetOiling. All right, so I'm in Jane's account here now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go over to Write with AI, and I'm going to ask it to come up with a seasonally appropriate event for my audience for the month of November. Provide a title, a description. Let me see, a title and a description. I'm just going to say a title and a description with a clear call to action. The event will be virtual, held on Zoom. All right. Now, real quick, this is not a great prompt if you don't have background information in your AI. Okay, now we did do an AI training recently, and actually, let me come over here and show you where you can find it. I'm going to go to the Success Academy, and I'm going to type in AI. All right, it's this one right here, how to train your AI to grow your Young Living business. And what we did here, let me grab my blog post here. What we did here, and I'm going to pop this right into our chat, and I'll make sure that this is in our description on YouTube as well. What we did here is we went over what it looks like to actually set up your AI, and I provided a cheat sheet here that gives you two examples to follow. One if you are just Young Living, and another if you are someone who is is maybe offering something alongside Young Living. So definitely check this out. And then once you are done with that, you're going to go over to your right with AI under your account settings, your AI settings right here. And you're going to have all of this stuff here worked out so that you can come over here and just say my audience without having to say who your audience is, right? So that is a little bit of background there. I highly recommend that you check that out before you get started. This way, the Right with AI and your GetOiling account knows you and your goals and your audience. It can help you come up with better ideas and copy. So here we have cozy and low tox because this example account is very focused on non-tox, low tox solutions, green solutions, things like that. So I'm going to grab all of this here. And I think that this is actually perfectly fine. So I'm going to copy this to my clipboard and I'm going to head over here to events. Right over here under Zoom and events, I'm going to click events. And I'm going to go here to add. And I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to paste everything right here. And then I'm just going to grab it and drop it in to my event. Another option would be to just put all of this into a Trello card. That would be a great idea too if you are using the Trello system that we have taught previously, and I'll show you guys where to find that as well. All right, so here we go. We've got our name, we've got our description. As the holiday season approaches, it's the perfect time to create a warm, inviting, low-tox environment for you and your family. Join us for a virtual event where we'll share simple swaps to prepare your home for November celebrations and beyond. From choosing the right candles, which I assume in here we are going to tell them not to choose candles at all. I might actually adjust this. From choosing the right scent solutions. How about that? I don't even want candles to enter the conversation in the description here. I want to be able to make the reveal that candles are the problem once I am in the class itself. So from choosing the right scents, we'll just say scents just to keep this not weird, to safer cleaning routines, discover ways to celebrate and enjoy the season without compromising on health. You'll leave with practical insights and actionable steps to create a holiday atmosphere that's cozy, welcoming, and low in toxins. Don't miss out on this opportunity to ensure your home is as healthy as it is festive. Register now to reserve your spot. I love this. This works. We do need to actually go into Canva though and create an image for this. So I am going to go into another window here. I'm going to open Canva for this. And you can really choose whatever image resolution size you prefer. I'm going to choose, though, a Facebook landscape. And that's going to be, sorry, I'm going to search here. I'm going to create. It's 1200 by 630. This is the same size resolution that we recommend for your blog post featured images and for the sharing images for your pages. So this way, if you share this, it's going to show up better. So I'm going to go over here and I am going to maybe find a template here. I'm going to maybe look for I'm going to put in my title and see if there's anything here. Don't love what they did. I don't love Canvas AI. I'm going to go over here to elements and just gets, oh, they've really changed a lot in here. This is not familiar to me. I'm going to go find a graphic here and I'm going to look for low tox holiday. And that is, yeah, we're going to have to come back to Canva another time. I'm just going to go ahead and grab what's here. They've made some changes recently that I'm not in love with. All right, so I'm going to delete some of this stuff that I don't want here. And I am going to paste my title here. Again, this is not an optimal Canva design. You might want to spend a little bit more time getting this right for you. But I'm going to go ahead and download this just so you can I can show you how easy it is to get this into your GetOiling and all set up and quick and ready to go. So I'm going to use that right here, choosing the file here from my downloads. And I've got my date. This is going to be in early November. Maybe I'm going to do this on the maybe the 7th. That's a Friday. I'm going to do a Friday evening for this, 7 p.m. Eastern. Oops. And that would end at 8 p.m. Eastern, again on the 7th. All right. You can choose a maximum number of attendees. So if this is an in-person event, then you can certainly provide a max here, or if you don't want it to go over a certain number, et cetera, you can set that here as well. Now, the event that I am putting together here is a free one. If you want a paid event, there are other options to pursue here. What I would do in that case is I would actually, if you are using a paid event, I would set up, instead of setting up an event here, I would use a page for that and set that up for payment. And I would uncheck this allow self-registration. So if you are charging for your event and you want people to actually pay, then what you're going to want to do is put the event link here. So that's going to go to the page where you're taking payment, and you're going to uncheck this allow self-registration box, right? And everything else that controls the attendance for the event is going to be handled on that page and not here. This is simply going to be a listing in your events page on your account. But we're not doing that. We're not doing a paid event here. This is going to be simple and straightforward. Now, I'm going to keep them on the events page just to keep things simple. If you want a confirmation page, you can create one and you can connect that right here. But we also really should have a campaign, right? We should have, a confirmation message that goes out. We should have a reminder message that goes out, and we may want to have a follow-up as well. So we're going to create a campaign. So I'm just going to go click this campaign here. Oh, no, I'm not. Just kidding. We're going to go into another tab and um, we're going to create a campaign. And I'm going to use Write with AI to do it quickly and easily. So I'm going to go over here to campaigns. I'm going to click add. The name of my event, I'm going to come back over here, this Cozy and Low Talks. I'm going to pop that in right there. And I'm going to create it. I'm going to add a message. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to keep this in the basic email editor just to keep it simple. And I'm going to click right here with Write with AI, see my prior responses. And I'm going to copy the AI response. And I'm going to ask it to write a confirmation email for the following event that will be held on November 7 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to paste. And let it write for me. And then once I have what it's written for me, I'm going to pop it right in. I'm going to go ahead and add that to editor. Super cool here. I'm going to go over here where it says confirmation. I'm going to copy this up into the subject line. All right, here we go. So I've got all of this information here. Link will be provided closer to the event, which we will do. During our session, you'll learn da, 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 da. Excellent. So it's using all of those details. I'm going to go ahead and click save message. This is day 0. So as soon as they RSVP, they're going to get this message. Now I need a reminder message. So I am going to click add message, and I am going to now do what I did before. Again, using the basic email editor, I'm going to go to Write with AI, and I'm going to say, write an email, say a reminder email for attendees that will go out the day before this event, which will be held on November 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern, right? Okay, now I'm also going to go ahead and open up another tab here, and I'm going to go and create the Zoom meeting for this event because this is virtual. Obviously, if this is at your home or some other address, you could simply include the address in the campaign itself. I would not put it in the event necessarily. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and click schedule Zoom meeting, and the title of this event, I'm going to copy that and make that the title of this. It's going to, again, be on the 7th at 7 p.m. It will last for 1 hour. We'll automatically start video for everyone, but I will go ahead and make sure that people are muted when they come in, just in case they're in a noisy environment. I would like to use the waiting room just to make sure that people who have registered are the ones who are joining. This is less of an issue now. I think Zoom had some issues back like years ago with rogue people joining calls, and I don't think that's as much of a problem anymore. Now, if you would like to keep this recording and have it save into your GetOiling account, you could go ahead. Well, you need to do that once you're on the Zoom call, but if you want to automatically record this to your computer so you can edit it and then upload it, you could choose this here as well. I'm going to click Create Meeting because I am going to need to include this link. So I'm going to click Get Link. I'm going to need to include this in my campaign. So this is the URL to join the call, and I'm going to paste that in. And then once I have that done, I'll be able to pop it right into the editor. So add to editor. I'm going to grab that reminder up here into the subject line. I'm going to delete that from the body. All right, and here, I'm going to say join the call, and I'm actually going to remove all of these parentheses. This is not a cute link here, what you see. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to turn it into a link, insert link, and I'm going to put the text here as join the call, or I'm going to say link to join. And I'm going to click insert, and I'm going to turn it into a button. Here's the link to join the call. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and save this message. And this is going to be on day 1. Now, this now necessitates that we set this up as a date-based campaign. So I'm going to go up here and make sure that day 1 is the day before the event, right? So if our event, let's go to November. If our event is on the 7th, I want day 1 to be the 6th, right? That means that we start this campaign on the 5th. You see how that works? This goes out right away. So if they sign up for this on October 30th, they're going to get this right away, but then they're not going to get this until November 6th. Okay. Now, you can do one more message here. If you have a premium or higher plan, you do have the ability to edit the message times. Now, the automatic time to send, aside from as soon as possible, is 5 p.m. Central US time. And that's when this would go out if you just keep the default time, right? I am going to create, and this is optional for you, one more message. And you could actually do this if you have a 7 p.m. Eastern call as well, because this would go out at 6 o'clock Eastern, which is 5 Central. And you could just keep it as the default time because that just works for a 7 p.m. call on the East Coast. So I'm going to click add message, and this is going to be for day 2. And what I'm going to do here is, again, use the basic email editor, right, with AI, and I'm going to grab my... I'm going to copy the AI response from the previous one because it has my Zoom link in it. So I'm going to say, write the reminder email for the following event. I have provided the reminder email from the day before below, which includes the correct date, time, description, and Zoom link. I'm going to paste that in, click write, and let it write for me. And guys, this really is the longest, this is what takes the most time, is just setting up a campaign. And if you know that you just need to have a right away confirmation, maybe a day before reminder and an hour before reminder, then you're good to go. I'm going to go add this to the editor. Here we go. I'm going to put this up here in my subject line. Here we go. And now I am going to, again, just like I did before, come over here. I'm going to turn this into a clickable link by clicking right here on insert link. I'm going to move the text from here to up here. And here I'm going to say, join the live call. Again, making that a button so that it pops out. And I'm going to remove this PS because I don't think it's necessary. I'm going to click save. We now have this, and this is going to be going out at a specific time. It's going to go out an hour before the call. So 5 p.m. Central is 6 p.m. Eastern. And so I do want this to go out an hour before. So this 5 p.m. Central time is actually perfect. I'm going to keep the default time, but if you're sending an hour before reminder for any time other than that time, then you will want to specify the time of day that you want this to send. But you can see that this will send on the day and right before it starts. So with that campaign created, we have all of our communication automated to make sure that people show up. And now we can come back over here to our event. I'm actually going to go ahead and click add because I didn't make the campaign beforehand. And I'm going to go in to edit this and attach that campaign. And the title of this is Cozy. There it is. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to save my changes here and our event is set up. Now we can go take a look at this. And you can see that our image is here. We've got our description. And oh, you know what I did? I kept that box unchecked, which I should not have done. So self-registration is what we're using because we're not charging for this. We're sending them to another page. So let's take a look here. We can register. This will pop up. Of course, this is what's going to show up on my computer because it's got information that I've put into forms previously. This will be blank for your users and they will get to put in their own information here where they can give a yes, no, maybe, and they can say whether or not they want to receive information about the event via email or text. Okay, so once you've got that set up, you can do a couple of other things. One of those is to create a follow-up plan for yourself. So again, this is assuming that you have put a good bit of time ahead to pad your promotion and everything else you need to do to prepare for your event. What we're going to do is go over to contacts, settings, and then we're going to go into follow-up plans. Now, I believe I have an event follow-up plan in here somewhere. Yes, there's a post-event follow-up plan. Let me see if there is an event. There's a vendor event one. Okay, I'm going to show you how to create this from scratch. So, and this is something that you can actually reuse. So this is a virtual event planning is what I'm going to call this. All right, so I need to send invitations to, oh, this is on day one or day zero. As soon as I've promoted this, I need to send invitations to my list. I'm going to add that. I need to also, maybe once a week leading up to it, I need to post on social about this event. And I'm going to go ahead and do that every week or every maybe 3 or 4 days leading up to it. So here's our maybe day 4, post on social, add. I'll do that on day 7, post on social, day 10, etc. Now, there may be some other things you need to do. If this is something that you are doing at home and you need to source product for it, right? Maybe your day 0 is also going to include place order for flip kit or products for this event, right? So I'm going to click add. And so you'll have that reminder for yourself as well. And you can have this going out for some great amount of time. And actually, this is going to be after. We need to do negatives here, don't we? So yeah, just kidding, you guys. We need to do negatives. So this is leading up to, so 30 days before the event, right? Forgot about the negatives. 30 days before the event or 25 days before the event. We want to use negative values here, right? So this is going to be, again, a negative 30. Post on social, that's also going to be something that we do on negative 27, right? We'll do this on negative 24. We'll do this on, we'll give this an opportunity to save here. Forgive me for that confusion here at the outset. This all explains it here. Really importantly, because this is a follow-up plan pre something, because you can have dates that are before the event, which our event's going to be November 7th. And then we've got after the event, right? So if you want to be reminded to reach out to the people after the call, we'll use this for that as well. But post on social, we'll also do that 21 days ahead of time. We'll do that negative 14 days ahead of time, post on social. You see where I'm going with this. Now, the day of the event, day 0, I want to confirm head count, perhaps. That's the day of the event. And then the day after the event, I want to send email to all who attended, inviting them to book a consult, right? So there we go, right? So these are all of my reminders. So the day after, this is what I want to do. And if there's anything else you want to do after that as well, I'm going to do on day 1, I'm going to ensure all attendees are on my mailing list. How about that? All right. All right, you see how we've done this, and this is going to give us the opportunity to really plan ahead. Now, the event that I put together is a little too soon to be able to do all of this, but whatever the number is in accordance with the actual date of the event, it'll actually give you a to-do in your GetOiling system. So let me go back to my events here, and we're going to add this follow-up plan to this event. All right, so we're going to show add, and we're going to add that follow-up plan. And what did I call that? Did I call that event? Virtual event planning is what I called it. Add follow-up plan. Oh, add. Oh, there's a parser error that's happening, Greg. I don't know if that's a me thing. But here, virtual event planning. This is how it should work, but this is, I'm experiencing a bug here right now.
I'll check it out.
Awesome, thanks. So yeah, once you have your follow-up plan attached here, let me see if that's, yeah, that's only going to be like once you've created the event, you're going to go back here to where it says to-dos, and you're going to attach your follow-up plan. And once you have that there and you go over to your dashboard in GetOiling and you scroll down, you will have events with to-dos for today. So it's not just who do I need to reach out to, but also what do I need to do? Do I need to book the table? If you're doing this for a vendor event, etc. Do I need to place my orders? Do I need to post on social about this event? So once you have that follow-up plan attached to the event itself, you're going to get reminded, and you can reuse that follow-up plan for any event that you may pursue in the future. All right, so we've got that all set up. Just real quick, if you want to know how you can go about promoting this, I'm going to go over some best practices for that in a minute, but you're just going to go to your events list here and you're going to click Get Link, right? And this is the link that you're going to be able to go and share with anyone to come and RSVP for this event. And you'll also see if you go to your website with GetOiling, whether you have your own domain or not, and Jane does not, if you go to your GetOiling website /events, you can actually see all of the events that you have coming up, which is pretty cool, right? So this now becomes a page that you can share as well. All right, so getting back over here to promoting your event, let's talk about this. We want to share that registration page link. We want to put it into our newsletter. We want to put it on our blog. We want to put it in our stories. Now, if you are putting this onto our blog, I would actually recommend that you send them to your website /events, right? Because blogs are something that live on forever on your website. This is a place that, you know, if maybe the event that you're referring to has passed, they'll be able to see the other events that you have coming up. Very importantly, you want to put this in your stories on social. You want to put this in your link in bio. You want to put them in your social posts. And you, of course, want to push this out to your list. And then use that date-based campaign, like I shared already, to schedule that confirmation and reminder email automatically. And if it's virtual, you want to make sure that Zoom link is connected, right? So the people who RSVP, we've got these emails that promote their attendance. Now, to host this event with confidence, you want to make sure that this is something that's fun and informative, whether you're online or in person, and focus on giving an experience, right? This is educational, this is informative, maybe it's entertaining. If you are someone who maybe has expertise in a particular area, really lean into that, right? Show them something that they didn't know, right? Give them a piece of information that's very relevant to them, not just serving what you want to sell. And then keep that energy focused on connection, not presentation, right? Your authenticity builds trust. And these events, while they are a place for you to stand in front of a room, whether actually or virtually, and present what you know, the most important thing that happens at these events is connection, right? Between you and the attendees amongst themselves. So any way that you can really invite engagement, people speaking with you and with each other, you're going to provide a better experience this way. Now let's talk about our follow-up after the event, and you could use that event follow-up plan for this. You want to thank people for attending. If you did record, you want to share the replay, you could do that as well. You could maybe put you could set up a page on your GetOiling account, put a link to that page in maybe a day after email in that date-based campaign. And then, of course, you can go and embed your replay on that page if you wanted to do that. But what I would really encourage you to do with events like these, especially if you're talking about product, is to use a vault and GetOiling. Put your replays into a member area and let people know that if they would like access to this and all future recordings, all they have to do is take the next step. So hop on a call with you, place their order, become a member, and you can get access to the community and all of these resources. So treat the recordings of these, right? So this is going to really help ensure that people actually show up if it's important for them. Because if you say, I will not be offering a replay unless you're a member, right? Then people who aren't members yet will take it a little bit more seriously, which is what we want. But then we also have that great value add of, well, you've got this and all kinds of other great stuff that you'll find inside of this private space, including things that you're not going to see me post about on social media, right? A lot of great opportunity there to just really create a value add for getting started as a member. And then add all of the attendees to your any nurture sequence you might have or to your general mailing list so that they are hearing from you consistently. So if you're blogging every week, these people who signed up for an event, they should hear from you every week. When you show up and you say, here's what's happening this week, here's a tip, right? If you want to have these people be included on your Tuesday tips, what I would maybe encourage you to do is to share that opportunity after the event is over, right? So where you could say, hey, if you would like to continue receiving tips from me, go ahead and do this. Or you can at the event get their permission and then you can add them, right? So that would be another great thing to do. All right, now you can repurpose and reuse the things that we've talked about here today. You can turn that event recording or any materials from the event into things like blog posts, mini resources, courses, and just value adds for your customers. You can add that replay, like I mentioned, to your member area. You could use it as a freebie for new leads. And each event that you host builds assets that you can use again and again. So you can actually go in and copy that event you created in GetOiling if you like the way that it's set up, or you don't remember exactly how you set it up, and you want to just basically have the settings be the same. You could take that campaign and change its dates and change the information in it, but maybe keep the Zoom link the same. Maybe that Zoom is a recurring link for your regular classes. So these are things you don't have to reinvent the wheel completely every time. You just change the details, change the dates. You can keep the Zoom link the same and just make those modifications and you're good to go, right? All right, so I would like to get into some questions that have been asked here. And if you have them, just please do make sure that those are going into the Q&A so I don't miss them. Allison says, I decided to copy the email from the campaign and send an email directly from her contact card. I don't know that this, was this directed at me? I'm not sure because I feel like I'm missing some contacts here. Let me see. Can you go over the quick steps for the tips email? Do we search in contacts for the tips tag and then bulk add the November campaign? Yes, you do. Actually, you do both of those things. So You're talking about your Tip Tuesday process, Allison. What we do with that is you're right on both of those counts. What you're doing is you're filtering contacts, or actually, here's what I'm going to do to keep this simple. I'm going to go to this right here, send a campaign. The campaign will be November. That's going to be our November Tip Tuesday, whichever one that you have that you've edited. And then we're going to send that to, and this you can do right away, just as soon as the campaign is ready. You're going to send that to people tagged with weekly wellness tips, right? So I'm going to click Send Campaign. And then you're going to go over, provided that we are past the final Tuesday of the month, I'm going to go over to landing pages. I'm going to go find my Tip Tuesday. And then I'm going to go up here to settings and change this to November, so that anyone who signs up new to this list from this landing page gets the current campaign. So yes, that's what you do. All right, Jolene says, I answered the previous question. How many campaigns do we have access to with pro membership? I don't know. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen anyone say I don't have enough campaigns. But you can probably, I don't know, is that something that's listed on our
Yeah.
marketing site, correct?
I mean, as far as campaigns, there aren't any limits on those. You can have as many as you want to.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So yeah, no max on campaigns. Is there a training on adding follow-up plans? Love the idea to be able to do this for things like live events and vendor events. Part of me thinks I could be overwhelming if I'm already doing. Um, so for follow-up plans, we have done trainings in the past on follow-up plans. They are super useful for events in particular, like what we've just discussed here and what we've discussed in vendor event trainings. For your leads, I would recommend just sticking, because you're in momentum and you're familiar with the pipeline process that I teach there. I would just stick to event-based follow-up plans and follow-up plans that fit into the momentum system if you're following that, because that's making sure that you are following the prospecting process and being reminded to follow up with people through to to actually getting them started and closing. So yeah, and momentum and the content planning system also overlap as well, and the content planning system doesn't really entail using follow-up plans. All right, where will these reminders go? Yeah, so if you have your reminders enabled, so if you go to your contact settings here and you go to general settings, if this box is checked, send me a daily email of activity and to-dos, you will get a digest from GetOiling. It's going to tell you all kinds of stuff that's happening with your system, and it will suggest who to reach out to and what your to-dos are for that day. So do make sure, again, that's under contact settings, general settings, check this box. So that's the number one. You're going to get this in your email. But the other way to do this is to go to your dashboard and you scroll down. You will see your to-dos for individuals, contacts in your system. And you'll also see your events with to-dos. So those are your follow-up plans that have been added to your events. So that's where those reminders will go. All right, when creating a campaign, do you want to put the date when the event happens to keep all things easy and the same, or the day before? So this really depends on what your promotional strategy is. So if I go back to the campaign that I created there, and I know that I am, let's just say we are doing a great job in planning ahead for an event in January, right? I'm going to go find my event, my campaign that we just talked about here. If this was to start in January, we will have so much time before this, right? So I mean, we're the 30th right now of October. This would be, the day of would be, I don't know, what, 60 days away? January 4th? Yeah, sure. So if I had an event on January 4th and this is the day of, then I would have 60 here. I would have 59 here. This would be as soon as possible. And then maybe I would want to have some additional messages that go out in between. So your campaign the number can be whatever you want it to be, so long as what shows up here is the correct date. Right. And if you are planning something and you start promoting something well in advance, right? So if you're taking RSVPs more than a month ahead of time, I would recommend having more than just these two emails here beyond the confirmation. I would recommend having 8 or 9 of these if you are promoting a long time in advance, right? Because that's going to keep people engaged toward that event. But this represents the bare minimum. And you just need to make sure if it is date based, that just that the days show up correctly here. And then, of course, the times show up as well if you are maybe sending something out an hour before. All right. Is there a way to do a make and take on Zoom? That is a great question. And I would say yes, although this would be something that I would maybe encourage you to do with your customers, like people who are active product users. But you really could if you plan it far out enough in advance, and you are sending your recommendations for here are the products you need to have on hand. Then yeah, absolutely. I mean, if chefs can do cooking classes on Zoom, why can't you do a make and take? Right. Except in this case, you wouldn't be charging for products. Maybe you would put the products out there. So you're going to do a make and take, and you're going to say, here's what you'll need. And then in your email, you can have your product links, like your links that go to Young Living, where that person becomes your customer, right? So you say, you're going to need this bottle of this oil, these 4 oils. You're going to need this that you can get from the grocery store, or you can buy it here from Young Living, and you're going to need a bottle like this one, right? So just depending on what it is that you're making. Absolutely. If you've got the camera set up, the lighting to make sure that people can see what you're doing, or what you're doing is simple enough to just hold it, in front, like, of a webcam, like I'm sitting here, I can hold up a cup and say, drop this in here, then yeah, you could absolutely do that. You do want to make sure if you're doing a make and take virtually, that you have enough planning ahead of time, especially for them to place and receive a Young Living order. And so this is something, yes, absolutely, I would maybe focus on first with customers as a way to engage with them, but that doesn't exclude everyone else. It's just that everyone else needs a little bit more incentive maybe to get started with Young Living first. And so what you could say is maybe you're doing a make and take for the holidays, but it's virtual. You can say, hey, I want to make sure that you have everything that you need. If you aren't currently shopping for your oils with me, set up a quick call with me, and then you provide your booking link to them in the confirmation email. Let them RSVP, but put that booking link in there, and then maybe you've got in your follow-up plan an opportunity to maybe reach out to them ahead of time, confirm that they've got their Young Living account, that they've got their products, et cetera. So yeah, you can. Logistically, how to do a make and take? Yeah, and recording it would just be you're on Zoom, right? And I would try to keep this pretty simple, right? So a make and take in this case is probably going to be uh this it would be a little bit of work, to be fair. If you've got a helper in your home that can maybe hold the phone or the camera, whatever it is that's being used to stream, or if you could set it up on a tripod to where your workspace is visible, it would be a little bit more challenging depending on if you're making something like a body butter where you need like equipment and it makes noise and it gets messy, then obviously that could be a little tricky. But if you're going to be doing something as simple as melt this wax, add these oils, that's simple enough. So it's going to logistically, I think, vary widely based on what product you would be making together. But the logistical lead up to it would really entail you making sure that you're planning and promoting this far enough ahead of time so that people have product on hand. Right. And you need to make sure that as much as possible, that product is something that Young Living sells, right? So that you can make sure that people are placing their orders, that they're able to have what they need in time. Um, Cleaners, room sprays, inhalers, rollers, oil infused soaps. There's so many ways that you could do this. Yeah. So I make a lot of stuff like that for the holidays. Like I make little boxes for friends and family for the holidays and send those out. And I even put cute little like names and labels on them that don't say what Young Living product they are. I'll put a QR code on there where they can go and buy more of the product to redo, or they can just reach out to me for more. Um, but yeah, something like that is so easy. You just go on to Amazon or whatever site, get the plastic inhalers. Here, put 4 drops of this, 3 drops of this, keep it in your purse. There you go. Like that is a very easy make and take. And again, the calculus there is that you just need to make sure that you are promoting this event far enough ahead of time such that people have the oils that they need on hand. Um, yeah, simple sprays and roll-ons will work very easily. Absolutely. So if you want to do a room spray or whatever, absolutely. And yeah, recording it live is definitely going to be a little trickier depending on what it is that you're doing. But again, if it's pretty simple, you just sit in front of a computer with your webcam on and you just do the thing, doing your best to hold it and show it. All right. Greg, you are added in the Q&A. All right, let me see if there's anything else here that we have missed. I don't think so. Um, Fantastic. Really excited to see what you guys do with this. And of course, if you have ideas for more trainings, things that you want to learn how to do that you don't know how to do yet, we do have a refresh for vendor event trainings on the calendars that'll be coming up fairly soon as well. We are kind of getting close to holiday market season for those of you who might do vendor events, which is absolutely something that you can do and manage with your Get Oiling, but it is very different from the events that we talked about here today. That's going to be using kiosk mode on your landing pages and introducing people with nurture campaigns and follow-up plans for you to reach out so that you don't have lists and stacks of lists of people who said, yes, I want to hear from you that you haven't reached out to in 6 months. How many of us have done that? Right? It's a very familiar story. All right. Really appreciate you guys sticking around here today. And we are just so honored to be a part of your journey. And of course, if you guys need us for anything, you know where to find us. We have a Facebook group. Again, invite your friends, invite your teams. This is for everyone. Join these calls on Thursdays. And of course, if you haven't gotten started with Get Oiling yet, we're $1 for your first month for our most popular plans. And our plans start at like $7 a month, which is really great for anybody just dipping their toes in the water for sharing. We, again, look forward to seeing you guys back here at the same time next week. Till then, take care, everybody.